My Lord and my God, I firmly believe that you are here, that you see me, that you hear me. I adore you with a profound reverence. I ask your pardon for my sins and grace to make this time of prayer fruitful. My Immaculate Mother, Saint Joseph, my Father and Lord, my guardian angel, intercede for me. Why do we honor and dedicate the entire month of May to Mary, our Blessed Mother? What is so special about the month of May? Having done a little digging, I came up with the following. In ancient Greece, the month of May was dedicated to Artemis, the goddess of fecundity. In ancient Rome, the month of May was dedicated to Flora, the goddess of blooms or blossoms. They celebrated Ludi Florals, or floral games, at the end of April, asked intercession of Flora for all the blooms. Gradually, Christian customs began to emerge, substituting these ancient practices with a specific Christian theme, that of honoring Our Lady during May with all that this month symbolizes: new life, new blossoming, new springtime, etc. So, in medieval times, similar customs abounded, all centering around the practice of expelling winter, as May 1 was considered the start of new growth. The idea of a month dedicated specifically to Mary can be traced back to Baroque times. Through the confluence of different Christian customs honoring Our Lady, the month of May was eventually chosen, and during this month, special devotions were organized, and each day throughout the month. This custom became especially widespread during the 19th century and remains in practice until today. My mother, today is the last day of May, May 31, and the Church, of which you are the mother, has chosen very wisely to celebrate it with the Feast of the Visitation, the second of the joyful mysteries of the Holy Rosary. How fitting it is, my Lady, that this month of May, which is totally dedicated to you, to honor you with special daily devotions, should be concluded with a celebration of your visitation to your cousin, Saint Elizabeth. Regarding this mystery of the Holy Rosary, which is solidly based on Gospel narratives, Saint Josemaria offers us the following reflection. By now, my little friends, you have no doubt learned to get along by yourself, joyfully kept Joseph and Mary company, and you'll hear the traditions of the house of David. You'll hear of Elizabeth and Zechariah. You'll be moved by Joseph's pure love, and your heart will pound whenever there is mention of the child who will be born in Bethlehem. We walk in haste towards the mountains, to a town of the tribe of Judah. We arrive. It's the house where John the Baptist is to be born. Elizabeth gratefully hails the mother of her Redeemer. Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb. How have I deserved to be thus visited by the mother of my Lord? The unborn Baptist quivers. Mary's humility pours forth in the Magnificat. And you and I, who are proud, promise to be humble. My mother, the Archangel Gabriel had just announced to you that with your fiat, with your consent, God the Son will take up human nature in your womb and come to this world as the long-awaited Messiah, or a moment of great rejoicing and thanksgiving. At the same time, the same Archangel told you, almost as if it is a side issue, that your cousin Elizabeth, who lived so far away from Nazareth, almost 6 or 7 days of journey, became pregnant in her old age. My mother, you could have stayed in Nazareth, just pondering and rejoicing and praising God for the great favor God has shown you, having chosen you as the mother of the Messiah. There's no hurry, you could say, for you to make any plans to visit your cousin. You could wait. You could pay her a visit eventually in good time. Yet, quite soon after the angel had departed from you, you started making preparations to undertake the journey, the service of your cousin. The Gospel clearly said that you set out and traveled to the hill country in haste, to the town of Judah, where you entered the house of Zechariah and greeted Elizabeth. This detail, my mother, that you took up the journey in haste, is very significant. In haste, without a moment to be lost, to be wasted, without holding back your decision to render this cousin of yours immediate service. After all, you had known that Elizabeth was childless, that she had been suffering a lot from this condition. You, my mother, sensed right away, after having learned about Elizabeth's pregnancy by God's intervention, that Elizabeth was in need of a service of another woman, and that the best thing for you to do was to undertake that journey, no matter how tiring and troublesome and complicated it might turn out to be. It was you, my mother, who revealed privately to St. Bridget of Sweden the no motive behind this haste with which you undertook that journey. You told her this: I departed from Nazareth, accompanied by St. Joseph, facing a long journey, crossing mountains to go visit Elizabeth in Judea, who, in her advanced age, had miraculously become a mother. I went to her not to make a simple visit, but because I burned with desire to bring her Jesus. The fullness of grace, love, and light which I felt in me pushed me to bring, to multiply, to increase 100-fold the life of my son and creatures. Yes, my child, the love of mother, which I had for all men, and for you in particular, was so great that I felt extreme need to give my dear Jesus to everyone, that all might possess him and love him. The right of mother, given to me by the fiat, enriched me with such a power as to multiply Jesus as many times as there are creatures who want to receive him. This was the greatest miracle I could perform, to have Jesus ready to give to whomever desired him. How happy I felt. How I wish that you too, my child, in approaching and visiting people, would always be the bearer of Jesus, capable of making him known, yearning to make him loved. My mother, thank you. Thank you for this revelation. You did not tell it only to St. Bridget. Today, my mother, you're telling all of us who want to be true imitators of your life that we should follow your footsteps, being always ready to render service to our neighbor in haste, in all the diverse and various needs we perceive in them. In doing so, we too are able to bring Jesus to everyone. Because, my mother, in doing so, we learn that to serve is to reign. Did you not offer your entire life in the service of your Son, the divine Messiah? Did you not incarnate in the most excellent way the teachings of your own Son, who told at a certain moment to the sons of Zebedee that, you know, that those who are recognized as rulers of the Gentiles lord it over them, and the great ones make their authority felt over them. But it should not be so among you. Rather, whoever wishes to be great among you will be your servant. Whoever wishes to be the first among you will be the slave of all. For the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve and give his life as ransom for many. Yes, my mother, to serve is truly to reign, because I'm bringing Jesus to reign in the hearts and minds of my neighbors whenever I render service to them. These neighbors could be my parents, my siblings, my children, my classmates, my next-door neighbor, the beggar on the streets, the orphans, the homeless, the aged and the infirm. My mother, with your intercession, help me to overcome my laziness, my selfishness, my self-centeredness, so that I can constantly think about the needs of others and bring Jesus to them. I thank you, my God, for the good resolutions, affections, inspirations that you have communicated to me in this meditation. I ask your help to put them into effect. My Immaculate Mother, St. Joseph, my Father and Lord, my guardian angel, intercede for me.